Planning Board meeting to order. Roll call of members. My name is Bill O'Neill. I'm the chair.
Doug Brown.
Mark Manning.
Tom Divney.
Christine O'Brien.
Nick Bonapane.
And at this time, appointment of alternates is next on the agenda. Roger Sample is absent, so Tom Hoops. I'd like to appoint Tom Hoops to fill in for Roger.
Second.
I don't think we need a motion from him, but thank you. And the next is approval of agenda. Any changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chair, there were some changes after the agenda got posted originally. So for case P 2503, the applicant has requested a continuance to October 21st. And that's the application for Richard Lundy on Miramichi Hill. So if anybody is here for that case tonight, it's been continued to October 21st. Case P 2528, the applicant has withdrawn and they're requesting a refund for the application filing fee. And those are the only two changes.
Any other changes?
I'll make a motion, we approve the Tuesday, September 16th, 2025 agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so first on the agenda is case P 25-21, TF Moran, agent for Treasure Coast, SPE LLC owner. Respect 38 new manufactured home to include one site area for single family dwelling. This has already been completed. The application's already been completed. And we had some homework for you guys, right?
Yes, I hope we've submitted it successfully, sir.
Yeah. The soils. Right. So, did we
Yes,
already-
they've submitted a soils report.
Okay.
It's dated September 2nd. And you guys should have a copy of that.
Okay.
I didn't.
It's on the other side of,
The back page of it?
yeah, in the back of this thing, comments for the planner. I feel like they've addressed the issues that you had questions on, but that's up to you to decide.
And then I have down here the state, the driveway permits, and, but we can make those part of the, conditions.
Correct.
Yep. And we've gone through everything else, right?
So that was the last piece, right?
Yeah. Did we address, okay, no, the thresholds.
Right, you still have to address
Right.
those.
Yeah.
What about the cistern with the fire department?
I had a lovely email that was sent to me earlier from the fire department and I neglected to print that out. I got tied up earlier. I don't know if Mr. Roscoe might have that. They have been working with the fire department, so.
Does he do, they are in accord then on?
Yes. Yep. Make some copies for that.
It's okay.
You guys need coffees or?
Deputy Turcott was on training for the last week or so he wasn't able to respond, and, so I responded for him, and then 2 minutes later, he piggybacked right on top of me, so
Yes, I did notice
we
that.
have belts and suspenders here, so.
Okay, good.
Paid 30,000 for one system, I think, right?
We could discuss that with them.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
they're the ones that usually come up with that
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. So, just a couple more things. So under the plenary review, the thresholds for active and substantial development or building and substantial completion of improvements. So within 24 months, after the date of approval, we put down that the following items need to be completed in order to constitute active and substantial, development or building. So to begin with, normally we'd like, like any type of drainage and, erosion or anything like that to be, to be done. What's like your first, what would be the beginning to start with this project?
It'd probably be, setting erosion controls and sedimentation measures. The AOT process, will have already been completed by that time, but, that would be the first thing, is to make sure we have the safeguards in place before we do anything active.
What about the second threshold?
For the second, okay, so we have two of them. So for the second one,
So it would be something that you would consider substantial completion of improvements. That would be something rather large. And this just gets you vested in to the regulations. That's what they're going over right now.
These are standard
Well,
timeframes?
it would be, like I said, we like start off with drainage, erosion.
Right,
You know, if you're gonna, obviously, you're gonna start with road, some type of road work, driveways, whatever, you know, so that we just need to know like what you're gonna start with, so you put down substantial movement as far as within the first 24 months. You know, but we like to see, like I said, is starting with like drainage and erosion. So,
Correct, right.
but is that what you're gonna be starting with, or are there other plans? You know, what's your plan to be, to be?
Yes, that is the plan. We gotta
Okay.
set the erosion controls so we protect the work areas and the environment, and then, do the roads first and the drainage.
The drainage, all right, drainage, is a big thing.
Yes.
Have you guys already ordered the units yet?
No,
No, what's the estimated date, like, when you order them, is it a long time for you to get them?
I can probably get them delivered within like 10 weeks of ordering,
10 weeks, okay.
but the winter time and pouring concrete, I thought that we were gonna have a little bit more time to do excavation work, so I'm probably gonna be stuck with being too cold to pour concrete. That'll probably be the holdup on that.
Okay.
But still within the 24.
Oh,
Month,
yeah.
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 For sure. I'm hoping after we do the drainage and the erosion controls and everything like that, the road's roughed in, maybe get the well driller in there, get the state has to do all sorts of water well testing.
Right.
I have to put utility shed in and pumps and.
So in 24 months, it would be all road work, all the
Yeah, I'm
infrastructure.
hoping to have roughed in most of the utilities, the plumbing and everything before we get into, December and January, and then hopefully pour concrete when the weather thaws, and then hopefully start delivery. I'm hoping to do, oh, no, I'm so sorry. Thank you. I'm
Thank
hoping
you.
to do, probably 20 or so houses, hopefully within 12 months.
Sorry, 20 houses?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And are these dates extendable if we show meaningful progress? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
the first threshold is, you can ask for an extension on.
Gonna put on there for number 2.
With drainage, roads, roughing utilities, wells drilled.
Oh, infrastructure minus dwellings?
Yeah, I didn't put dwellings on it. I think that'd be too soon.
Yep, yeah.
Yep. Do you have anything else? Or?
What was the timing on the single family house? What was the timing on the house?
Oh, to get them delivered?
Your home.
No, the owner.
The single family home? Yeah, I didn't really factor that into the, this timeline. And is that something that you guys want to see?
No, I was just curious if that was gonna be first. or-
No, definitely not. I really wanted to wait until everything, the business stuff
Everything
was
else is
done.
in.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
Are any permits needed from the state for the timber bridge crossings?
Well, they should be allowed just by notification because we're not altering, but it is within the 25-foot setback. But,
Okay.
yes, we will be doing the correct paperwork to make that
Okay.
approvable.
You're still waiting, I thought you were still waiting on a permit for the driveway, right? So the roadway into the highway.
Correct, yeah. I spoke with DOT representative today, and he apologized for not getting to the review, but they're backed up everywhere across the state. So, he understands that it's here, and I reached out to him a couple of weeks ago to give him time to get a good response, but he's got it in front of him and, he has everything that he needs. He just has to get to the review.
Well, it's standpoint of legal documents, there's also supposed to be an easement for water supplies for firefighting purposes. That's supposed to be indicated on the subdivision plats. I couldn't find that, actually.
Yeah, at final signature, they will be there, but until we knew that the fire department was satisfied, we didn't
Yep.
want to,
That's fine.
and drawing up all the easements is an expensive thing. We didn't want to have to change it, right? So, we'll have it set before the plan is signed.
Fair enough. Okay.
And it's likely to be mostly the roadway right away anyway, except for where we have the cistern and the hydrant. And similarly with the wells, wherever those end up, the first one that we have planned may not work depending upon,
Right.
but
Understood.
we're hoping for the best, yeah.
Anybody else have any other questions?
For all mine.
I know we have people from the public here, and we have open to the public on this. I would like to open it to public again, just in case there are any concerns or any other questions before we move on with this. So I'll take this time to open it to the public. I'll jump out of the way. We need a microphone, so yeah. Yes, please.
My concern is that.
Can you please identify yourself for the record?
Sure. Breanne Thompson, we are not, a direct abutter, but 150 feet from their property. I just want everyone to consider maybe the bigger picture. We bought a house in Alton in a rural area. It's zoned rural. Both of our children's names have to do with the night sky. Our daughter's name is Skylar, son's name is Orion. This is a lot of light pollution that's gonna be next to us. It's a concern for me. Also, in our master plan for Alton, it was stated that let's keep rural areas rural and separate from the congestion or the town. This is zoned as rural. We bought a house in a rural area thinking we were gonna have a family in a rural area and not next to, I'm sorry, I don't know the exact number that you're putting in, but when we bought the house, we said this is how much road frontage is in between us and the next neighbor. Realistically, how many houses could have went in there? I get this 85 acres maybe that you have, but you couldn't have put 85 driveways from here to our neighbor's house. So I'd really like you guys to consider that maybe this wasn't part of the master plan for this area.
Fair point.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Lazzy, 685 Route 140 Alton. Did they approve the driveway?
Not yet. From the state, no.
And they're doing a traffic survey of the roadway. Has that been done?
Yes.
Do they check to see how fast the cars go when they go down there? When they do a traffic survey, by any chance? 'Cause I've been almost run over by the last month at least 3 times.
I think they did the amount, right?
No, it's just they lay those,
Yeah,
the strip that you
the
drive
amount
over
of
and they
cars,
just
it's
count
not
the
the
axles.
speed, yeah. Speed would be more of a
Yeah, I
police
was
matter. right?
wondering.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
At the last meeting, it was stated that the only indirect wetland impact is a single-family house driveway. The driveway is to be built across 2 riverbanks consisting of ledge, rocks. According to DES, if they impact the bed, riverbanks, or stream, it would require a permit from DES. if you noticed, if you did the site walk, you noticed there was a stream in the front of the property. It runs down to a trickle in August. Went down to a trickle in August. March and April, the water from the swamp drains down those two riverbanks down to 140 and fills up that area, goes across the street and then down to wherever. If the project blocks this natural flow of floodwaters, it could redirect it onto mine or my neighbor's property. If it goes towards Jesse's property, which is them, they have two streams in their yard that are seasonal. That would put all the water that went to 140 down their property. It would make their property go to the neighbor's property. I have pictures I took a couple of years ago of the.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Sound the rest of the board if you want to pass out your neck. It's the same photo.
Those two run straight down from the swamp to 140, so they have to go across that to put the driveway in to get to the single house.
So this one's completely dry.
Right, that's in August when the yards were all crunchy.
Oh, the other two, when it's actually full?
I showed pictures to your office of the stream actually running down there from March, but it flows. It sounds like a waterfall when it's raining and yeah, how do they get the rocks to go in to make a riverbed?
So the swamp that he's talking about, that's gonna be the drainage is gonna be.
This is for you're talking about the main house, right? This is not the subdivision, this is the main.
I don't know where it runs when it runs up. It might go through part of
You know
the.
what he's talking about, where it's coming from?
I don't know where exactly.
They surveyed the property when they surveyed the property, there's blue tags to show where the water ran down from.
Sure. Talk about it.
I don't think DES they would have seen if there was gonna be, DES would have seen if there was gonna be an issue in there.
They told me that if they interrupt the flow of a stream or a riverbank to touch it, it has to go through them.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
They have to transfer, they have to go across these
Yep.
two.
Yeah.
And
Flows of water.
DES looked at this pretty good.
Yeah.
They looked at this really good.
I don't know if they looked at it, I don't know.
They did, yes, they did.
They know the
If DES had an issue with it, we wouldn't be sitting.
DES is the one that told me where the swamp was. They showed it on the Google map. They says, it's right here. Just from the trees, the impression of where it was. And you could, like I said, you can see it on Google Maps.
Okay.
Okay. All right, at the zoning board meeting, it was stated housing will be low, moderate income. They will cut down a minimal number of trees for this project. And there will be retention ponds to control the floodwaters. The rent's gonna be $2,500 a month, which I don't consider low income housing. When the logger told me he was clear cutting 47 acres, this is the area above mine, clear cut right to my property line, and that's where one house is gonna be built. You have to take down 47 acres of trees for one house? That's not minimal. And does the engineering plan show retention ponds to control the millions of gallons of floodwaters that will flow through this property? They said the engineering plans are supposed to have something on that at one of the meetings.
Yes, we do. Proposed retention basin. Yep, it's a detention basin, so yes. They have accounted for the extreme high floodwater they have.
That'll control the water that wiped out 140?
Yes, that'll control that section, yes.
You hope.
That
Well,
should,
I
yes.
hope.
I think everybody hopes.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you.
I get my pictures back in case.
So, to get back to what Brianna was talking about, as far as the lighting, she brought up the lighting, so we do have some like dark skies recommendations for lighting and so forth, and I think you went over that here, so.
I don't plan on putting an extreme amount of lighting in. I mean, it would be no different if it was subdivided into 2-acre single-family homes. It would be no different. I don't plan on having street lights or anything that's going to be on all night long with photo cells, probably motion detectors on the houses. That'll probably be about it.
There'd be enough for safety, but,
How you doing?
Hi.
I'm Diana Kuchar, 500 Dudley Road. So my understanding was you've already proved this. It's the state that has to give them all the permits. Is that where we're at now, or?
We completed the application is complete. We haven't approved the plan yet.
Okay, so
We're
you're-
at that point, but yes, it's still part of the conditions is
Okay,
the driveway, the DES, there's still things that have to get approved by the state
okay,
for this to move forward.
okay.
Yes, but
When I travel 140, the original driveway, where is the one that actually is gonna be? Because I thought they said they couldn't put it where it was. Because when you come over that hump, it's right there.
no, it's where the big granite pieces are, right? Yeah, it's because of the
Line of sight.
the line sight where a car would be coming out
Right.
where it was a blind spot. Someone would have got hurt. And where unfortunately for them, where the best vision is right where that granite is. So they're gonna have to
So
take
they're-
a chunk out
The
of, yeah,
blast,
they're gonna have to,
and that's,
yes.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
right.
okay, so
they're
it is
gonna have
being moved.
to-
Oh,
For safety reasons, that's where
Okay,
they're gonna.
it just hasn't been done yet.
No, it hasn't been
Right,
for them to
okay.
do anything, yeah.
All right,
So-
and the wells and everything,
Yeah.
nothing's been done, so you haven't gotten any approval. So
No.
what I don't understand is this is the third meeting we've come to, and you haven't gotten anything approved from the state. What, is that because they're behind, or? I mean, this is the third we've come in the summer. It just seems like every time we get here, you haven't really gotten anything to give to them to,
well, all right, but
okay.
I'll,
But why don't we just continue it and not come here today?
I'll answer your.
Yeah.
So this is the local subdivision review process. So we're subdividing, or not really subdividing, but we're preparing the development plans for review by this board to meet the town requirements. So the driveway comes out under Route 140, that's under the mandate of the state DOT. So they're reviewing that concurrently, but they're not completed with their review yet. We also have the alteration of terrain permit for doing the development, doing the groundwork. That process has started, but that's a timely process. And usually like to see that you've got local approval before they spend their time and reviewing, over several months.
Okay.
So this is really the first step. So we've tried to answer everybody's questions and we've provided the drawings. The town's consultants, I think, are satisfied. And now it's just up to the planning board to decide what conditions to place on it so that all of your needs are protected.
I just drove 140 the other day and I'm like, I thought they said this was gonna move, but I haven't seen anything, so, okay,
That's
all
why.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
So actually, so the board actually can't hold up an approval while you're waiting for state approvals. That's why they become conditions of approval in the long run.
Anybody else? Public? Okay, I'll close public. Anyone from the board have any other questions?
Maybe, yeah, just for the record, coming back to the whole traffic impact analysis, the last traffic impact memorandum, I guess, was from July 2024. Has there been any subsequent studies since then?
No, there's been no updates. Well, we do account for, percentage growth over time, so those are overestimated.
Okay.
Even though we did it in 2024, we're projecting out several years in advance.
And there hasn't been any feedback from the state relative to the whole sightline distance issue or anything like that at this juncture?
Uh, As I mentioned, I had a conversation today, but there was no technical details discussed. It was really just the general review and when he was going to be able to get to it. But if he has a concern about the date of the counts, I'm sure that we could address it.
Right, that's it.
Any other questions from the board?
So, Mr.
One
Chair,
more,
so,
okay.
no, I would just suggest maybe going over the conditions, just so that it's clear, the, conditions precedent.
Okay, so,
And the first ones are kind of boilerplate. I'm more concerned about just the ones on page 10 from 6, so that it's clear.
okay, so these are the conditions precedent. Obtain and submit a copy of the New Hampshire DES alteration of terrain permit. Obtain and submit a copy of the New Hampshire DES subdivision approval. Obtain and submit a copy of the New Hampshire DES Community Water Supply System permit. Obtain and submit a copy of an amended New Hampshire DOT driveway road access permit. Board of Selectmen approval for all roads names is required. Adhere to the items in the department head review form from the Alton Fire Department, which is completed by Evan Turcott on January 30th, 2025. Prior to the work beginning on site, a construction meeting shall be held in accordance with the construction observation guidelines, and an escrow fund shall be set up with the town of Alton as escrow agents to pay for construction observation services. Submission of easements and right-of-way over property to remain in private ownership, and easement for water supplies for firefighting purposes for review by town council at the owner's expense. The subsequent conditions, all subdivision improvements are to be completed as per the approval subdivision plat. The applicant shall comply with all of the town of Alton subdivision regulations, zoning ordinances, and highway policies and regulations. The approval is based upon plans, specifications, and testimony submitted to the planning board. Any alterations, additions, or changes to the plans are not authorized and require additional planning board approval. A subdivision plan which has been approved conditionally or otherwise may be revoked in whole or in part by the planning board when an applicant or successor in interest to the applicant has performed work, erected a structure or structures, or established the use of land which fails to conform to the statements, plans, or specifications upon the approval was based, or has materially violated any requirements or conditions of such approval. Once any and all conditions of approval have been met, and the chairman of the planning board or his designee signs the subdivision plans, if applicable, the applicant has 12 months from the date of the signing to start construction, if any, and unless a different schedule is approved by the board, must complete construction within 36 months unless an extension has been formally requested and granted by the board. Normally, the board shall not grant more than one extension per project, shall grant an extension for a reasonable cause, and shall normally not grant an extension for more than 6 months. All manufactured housing units installed shall meet the most recent specifications and standards established by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The manufactured home park grounds and facilities shall be under single ownership, but may be under such management to carry out provisions of the manufactured homes and park performance standards. All right. Yeah. Okay, unless otherwise approved, it's just here.
There were just a lot of questions from the
Okay.
public, so just.
Yep,
kinda
no,
wanted
that's
to
fine, that's fine.
Read those out, thank you.
Yep. So, those are your conditions and subsequent conditions. Anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, could I ask a question on, it's on the, third page of the document. And it's really just language, and I think maybe I'm just reading it wrong, but I know that we were talked about allowing the additional site area for the single-family home. But this seems to imply, at least in my reading of it, we created a variance to Article 400, Section, 4.52A1, which I thought was, it allows, that's what calls for 2 acres per each house you build, even though you can fit them on 10,000 square feet, right? Is that what that is? I guess my question is, the house that's being built needs, the land on that needs to maintain itself as part of the overall development, where you won't have enough acreage for the number of houses, right? So it's staying that's what I'm trying to get to. So is the wording on this right, that we created a variance to that article, or we're just calling out that article?
No, so they received a variance because the manufactured home parks only allowed manufactured homes.
Right.
So that's why there was a variance requested to build the single family. Yeah.
Single family.
But this doesn't say, I'm sorry to wordsmith this, but it says this is to allow an additional site area, not to allow another home. And we're really not approving an additional site area, right? We're just allowing the house to be built.
That's why it's not referred to as a lot. It's a site area, not a lot.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, because we couldn't say lot, because that's
Is that
gonna be a
what that means?
subdivision thing.
Right, manufactured home parks, the language
I'm just
is a
reading
site
it.
area.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions?
You need a motion to approve it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make a motion, we approve case number 25, P25-21 with conditions, subsequent precedent.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night.
So, next one up is, this is, acceptance and review of application, public hearing, accepted and complete. Case P25-27, Jeffrey Green LLS, agent for Bucky and Joey Holdings LLC owners. Proposal to allow change of use for an automotive and truck motor vehicle washing facility and a building trade shop for an off-site sandblasting business. So there are no waivers? No. I just get signed NA, so. It's complete. you have, did you get everything to you? Did you have any issues? Okay, okay.
All right, well, I will second.
Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries? Okay. You guys are up.
Okay. So, I'm Jeff Green, and this is one of the owners, Dan, Devereaux. And, we're here to ask, I came in 2017 with this same project, when they had a used car dealership there. So I'm basically updating the plan. We're asking for a change of use. And he had somebody in there who's doing automotive detailing. So it's interior, exterior detailing on a car, and for the majority of it's done inside the shop. When I say majority, 99% of it is done inside the shop, okay? So I put together a plan. I'm thinking it's simple. You guys probably think it's a little bit more. The information I got from the planner, just before the weekend, looks like I did a lot of things wrong or incorrect, but I think I can explain everything that was on there. So I'm not sure exactly how you want to go through this, but I'll give you what we want to do anyway. And see if we can't get this straightened out. So the property is on the Suncook Valley Road or Route 28. I think everybody's familiar with it. Just they're on the right, just before Dollar General. Yep. And the building is existing. The lot, we're doing nothing on the outside of the lot. Everything there is staying exactly the same it was, unless the board feels something needs to be done differently. I'm using basically the same information as last time. The plantings and all of that are either there, most of it was just already graphed. So I'm still showing all of that as being the same. The lighting hasn't changed, using the same lighting that's on the building now, currently. The parking spaces, I removed 2 spaces out of all of them that were there, when we were doing the used cars. Those 2 were in front of the building on the north side of the lot. And they were in front of there's an open bay on the side of the garage. So I took those parking spaces out of there. Still left us with 26 parking spaces. The building is in 2 parts. And we have I had supplied a floor plan, which we'd used before. And the detail repair, we call it detail repair. And there was some questions. The zoning board called it something different, and we may want to update that to what they have. But basically, the repair part of it falls under the category of adding aftermarket parts. So when you're detailing a vehicle and somebody wants a visor over the windshield, he wants to be able to put that on. Or if you're replacing the running boards and putting up a new one. That's the minor part of his job. His job is really to detail and wash, the interior, clean it, and send it back out on the road. That's what he does. But he wants to be able to, if somebody comes in and says, geez, can you replace this or whatever, make sure he can do that. So they're not doing any type of automotive repair, as in motor jobs, oils, greases, anything like that. There's nothing on site for storage or anything like that either. So there's an area there where Unit 1 is that. There's an entryway and a main office. That was what was used when they did the used car dealership. And they did the same thing. They had their office there, an entryway in, and they did, when they got a car, they had to wash it and detail it. So that's where that was done before. We're kind of keeping it the same way. Unit 2 was another thing, and we listed that as sandblasting. So there was a gentleman using that second office, and the Unit 2 had equipment maintenance area and storage of supplies and storage of supplies. There's 4 rooms in that section. And he only did off-site. So he has a trailer with a mobile unit on it, and he goes to places. For instance, one of his main things is going to sandblast a tractor trailer. Okay, and the trailer's on their site. That's where he does it all. So there's nobody coming to this office. Everything's by phone. Okay.
I gotta beg to differ on that. Last year, he was sandblasting outside constantly. I personally asked him to stop and, told him where I was, asked him to stop, and all of the dust was going across Landon on Merry Meeting River, so I disagree with you.
Okay.
He is definitely doing it outside.
Yeah, rather than say disagree, I'd rather you didn't say that because this is what I was told he wants to do. Okay, so what happened before, I have no idea. All I know is when I interviewed him to do this, it was gonna be off-site. So that's what we're proposing.
So is he working for you or is he renting the space from you to do that work?
He's the owner.
Oh, so-
And he rents a space.
Okay, so you're renting to the space to this gentleman that does the sandblasting.
Not anymore.
Okay.
So, he has moved on, which is what I was gonna say when you said that. So he's moved on, he bought the Aroma Joe's franchise over in Meredith, and he's moved on. So that's no longer an issue as far as
So there is no
sandblasting.
medium,
And it was, presented to us that 99.9% of everything was done mobily. And I believe he did do it, but I don't disagree with what you said either, but it's kind of a moot point because
Perfect.
he's gone.
Yep.
The detail guy is in
Took
the
over
front
all of
unit
it, yeah.
now, and that's really the only thing that we,
So I guess we'll have to amend that just a little bit. Things change quickly sometimes. So.
so hopefully that
Yeah.
finishes
so-
that.
It does.
so I'll ask.
this will only be a detailing enterprise with this?
We could re-rent the back unit to somebody else, under the, the use that it's approved for, which is contractor storage. If it was anything that needed zoning approval, we would submit it for zoning approval and come before the board. I would only rent it to whatever use it's approved for at the moment now.
So you're allowed to change use for an automotive and truck vehicle washing facility. So, what is it? It's approved for to be an automotive truck washing facility right now?
Yes.
And
No, that's what we're asking for.
okay.
Well, the zoning.
Car sales right now.
So it's for car sales
Right now.
It was car sales.
Okay, and you want it to be automotive, truck, and vehicle washing and a sandblasting office, or no more?
Sandblasting is gone now.
Get rid of the
That's-
sandblasting?
So where it gets confusing is you don't have anything in your regulations that say automotive detailing.
That's right.
So we worked together and talked about it and they came up with, it falls under automotive, and you said it, washing, auto and truck washing facility, which sounds like a car wash,
Yeah, right,
But it
well, that's
isn't.
what I thought it was, yeah.
but it isn't.
Somebody
And then
brought
it goes
that up
back
at the
to
zoning
Canada.
board to
No,
say
I
that,
think so,
like,
yeah.
specify that it's not a car wash, and it's not, it's a,
We did, that's
Yeah,
right.
right.
What you guys assured us, and I think it was written into a decision, was that any car washing, actual car washing would be brought over to a car wash.
Yes.
Then you'd bring it back and detail the inside of it.
That's exactly what it
correct.
does.
But
This-
we did state at the time that he does rinse them off,
Well, you-
with
you might have said
clear water
that.
rinse off. But the actual washing is
Yeah.
through a car wash.
Before it gets.
And then you bring it back.
Then he brings it over there, and then if there's any dust or whatever, he'll just clear rinse it off. But everything is done inside the shop, with the buffing wheel and hand wax and
Did you see the report from the Conservation Committee that says on August 25th?
Jeff said that he got some papers. I personally didn't receive any. He said he got some Friday.
Yeah, because when we went through this, and I don't remember the exact language we did, there's a limitation on this with the zoning board, but I know it wasn't approved as a car wash, as you say, and we both agree.
Yeah, no car wash.
But this seems to imply that the car was washed in the front of it and the water ran right onto 28, which is well within the setback, which was all of what we were trying to stop,
Yeah.
right?
They said that the water ran onto 28 from him washing a car.
Yeah, something like that. August 28th, 10:45 a.m. Noticed the water in front of the building with water and who knows what else. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. Running off the concrete apron into the gravel between the building and 28. But it was within the setback.
So not onto 28, just
Not onto 28,
So he
but
take it
within the
onto the land
So,
in front of the building.
Which is what we were trying to stop because of the setback from Merry Meeting.
you said this was gonna be mostly inside washing and detailing and
It,
cleaning?
it is.
Okay, is it drained? I mean, where does water go? I think that's the biggest question, is where does water go?
There wasn't any water, as I recall, right?
Well, let's try this then. Is there a floor drain in the facility?
No.
No.
But
there was no, so there's none of this that goes to the septic system?
No,
No. And we did have the septic system inspected, and we also had, the septic inspector look at the runoff as per
yeah.
the zoning board's request.
It's a little dubious about a detailing shop that's not gonna have water as an effluent.
Not gonna have.
Water as an effluent, as waste.
Right, no.
No, I mean, I'm sure that there is gonna be some water, but he's not out there with chemical,
Well, there's detergents in the water. I mean,
in the water, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was, the septic inspector also noted that it was at least 250 feet to the, corner of the water across the road.
I saw that, but
But
And that
it's
still
also
doesn't
within
deal with the
250
remediate,
feet of the water behind it. So I did, and just so that you might be able to, I got a big version of it too, but this is a plan that you guys have in your hand. Okay, if you have it, but if you look at the lines that I have, Mary Meeting River is over here, and it goes around and comes back over
Right.
here.
It's on
This
both
is more
sides.
like the swampy part of it.
Yeah.
So this lot right here, if you start here and go 50 feet, 150 feet, and 250 feet, it brings you to the edge of the road. If you start at Mary Meeting here and you go 50 feet, 150 feet, and 250 feet, they overlap each other. So it's in the shoreland district is what it's showing, and those are on there. What's that? It was, but there was a question that came up about the shoreland issue, so we're there, we don't necessarily have to do anything unless we're changing something on the ground. But I did have those marked in there, so that everybody understood, that it is in the shoreland.
But I
Okay.
think you are changing something, right? You want to get this approved as a car wash.
Well, that's doesn't affect anything to do with shoreland. Shoreland's only if you're touching the ground. I can put up a tree house next to the shore, and as long as I'm not touching the ground, I don't have a shoreland permit. So, they're worried about the cutting of the trees and the, removal of soils. That's what the permits are for. So if you guys approve this, and I haven't touched the ground, haven't graded it or anything like that, I don't have to go for a shoreline permit.
Even with the runoff.
Unless we change that runoff. So you'd have to actually physically change it. If I have to regrade the parking lot, then it would fall under that category. If we use what's here, which hasn't changed since the last approval, then we don't have to. So it's really a matter of what we're changing physically on the ground. If I wanted, there's no trees, but if half the lot had trees on it and I wanted to remove them, I would have to have a permit from the shoreline
So
to do
just,
that.
yeah, so I understand that. What you're saying is if you don't change anything, you can put a car wash, if it were a manual car wash on the outside of the building with whatever amount of runoff, and that's not a problem. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
so if I put a car outside and I wash on it, yeah, they don't have a problem. Because they don't have any rules, or that's your rules that we would have to follow, whether you allow it or not.
it seems to me we're approving this as an automotive and truck motor vehicle washing facility.
Well,
Which is
I don't want it to be that
problematic,
way.
huh?
I don't think I want it to be that, and so when the application, the first page of your application that I filled out, I wrote, automotive detail and washing as a description.
Or if we approve, I
And then if you
understand
go
how
down
you-
further, it says, allow a change of use for an automotive detailing and washing facility.
To remain for a detailing facility.
How did because we did this in the zoning board, and we came up with a definition. Do you recall what the definition was that kept it a car washing thing, but they couldn't wash cars? Because that's really what we allowed.
So the use,
So there was only that in our documents. It had to be something.
so the definition is a site or structure used for the washing of trucks or automobile, or automotives. So it's pretty
So you
short and
don't have
vague.
what we did from the zoning board?
So on page 3 of the plan review, I captured both of the motions that took place at the zoning board meeting, so you'd have that language in front of you.
Which page is that?
It's on page 3.
Page 3. Yeah, I was just trying to find.
There's the motion, and then there was an amendment to the motion.
Well, waterless wash, he doesn't use a lot of water per se.
Can you say that
Well,
again?
I said he uses, the majority is a waterless wash, he doesn't use water per se. You know,
Right.
so, I mean, the effluent is, the runoff is minimal, I know what you mean. But what we're getting at is, we don't want to approve you as a car wash, and then you to say, oh, well, you approved it as a car wash, now you can do
They
whatever you want.
made it,
If you read this, we didn't approve it as a car wash.
they made it pretty clear at the zoning meeting that
Yeah.
they were not approving this as a car wash, like, per se, and I have no, and I have no intention of making it a car wash or saying that, the board's approved this as a car wash.
The condition that we added was that any vehicle washing would be done off-site,
Yes.
and only clear water would be done on-site.
So that would
For
be a
rinsing.
condition precedent of this.
Yes.
Yep.
But you still needed approval of the septic system.
We had that
In fact, I
inspected.
got that.
Yeah.
I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, that was.
Where's the septic on the site?
Where is it?
Yeah.
So it's to the left of the entry door on the side of the building.
Oh, it's that little spot?
Yeah, there's white rock on it. I mean, you can't see it from this, but to the left of the entry door, right there.
Yeah, right outside of P1 parking space.
Also, where's the dry well that they talk about in the inspection?
Dry well is,
That's not on the plan either.
that's to the left of the septic.
In that. That big thing right here, right?
Yeah.
It's just to the left or the west of the actual where I wrote, existing leach field, approximate leach field.
Did he give you any intended hours of operation or days of operation?
This is the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's there right now? Yeah.
Wilson's Extreme. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's usually out of there by 6 o'clock. Probably in there at 7:30, 8, out by 6.
Okay.
Nothing overnight or I don't think I've ever seen him there on a Sunday.
I was gonna say, is his intended days 6 or 5? Probably.
Probably
6.
6.
6 to 6 probably, only because people have to pick up their cars.
Yeah.
Type thing, so.
But, no late hours or anything like that.
We didn't discuss it that way because I talked to him about, well, everything's by appointment. So it's like, you don't really have set out. And I know like on Saturdays, he goes to other places a lot of times to work on tractor trailers and things like that, also cleaning them for several different places around here. So we wouldn't have a problem having set hours if you guys would agree to it.
So he has some kind of mobile unit that he drives it.
Yeah, it's just a
Pressure washes the vehicles or something like that?
hand carry bag that he takes and cleans the inside of tractor trailers. So everything's basically, washing, waxing, probably is a vacuum cleaner, so.
Can I just back up a little bit just to confirm days and hours? So do you want to do 7 to 7, 6 to 6?
I think 7
6
to
to
7
7?
would be,
That's what I want.
yeah.
7 to 7.
7 to 7, Monday through Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, the only other option under the zoning ordinance in D would be to classify it either as repair, which it's not going to be, or classify it as a sales, junk motor vehicle dealer or automobile dealer.
Right,
Deal dealer.
right.
So we kind of don't.
That's why we kind of came up with this. And then when we did go to the zoning board, they did discuss that, well, we don't necessarily want a washing facility in there. And if we did, you would really have to have a new building and, I mean, it's
Floor
hard.
drain at that point.
Unless you're
Yeah.
just doing it, one outside. But I think the one thing that, this is just my opinion, but the one thing that will help everybody in this town, as far as the building inspector, code enforcement, planning or whatever, is however you word it in your final approval, if so you do, is what you have for a way to watch it and make sure it happens, So I understand, we just had to have a category to allow the business. That's what the planning department came up with. And and whatever. And when we got that, the zoning board was very strict on what they were gonna allow it to become.
And I think we should just be consistent in the conditions precedent to put that in explicit as the way it was.
As the way the zoning wrote it, and just, I can't, I read it, but I read it a little while ago. There's nothing, no mention of anything mechanical in there, correct? Like no mechanical, should we add something about having a mechanical?
You mean in terms of the media blast or the sandblast?
No, no, just in terms of,
It actually does say that, Nick. It was something around the thing, it was kind of like these guys were describing, it was light repair. So they, and it didn't like rule out mechanical repairs, it didn't, although it did, I think, rule out like oil changes.
Yes.
There were a
Yeah,
couple of
it
It
specific.
ruled out
things like
anything
that.
to a fluid. It was really,
Fluid,
we had to have a little bit of that in there so that if he was taking something off and replacing it, it kind of fell out of the detail part and went into the.
I apologize, I think that the error, I meant, like like what we have, the self car washes, like the no mechanical car washes, that's what I meant. I apologize, I didn't mean mechanical like wrenching, I meant
Okay.
car washing, like car wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Right,
plan
no.
to make a car wash of any type there.
And and again, you have the ability, because we don't intend for that, because that's a lot more expense anyway, to restrict that.
Yeah, that's
If you,
what I was
if you
getting.
felt necessary, right?
Just the set.
At this point, that would definitely have to come back anyway.
Yeah,
So,
this
Mr.
is strictly about. the
Mr. Chair?
detail.
Yes.
So under subsequent conditions, number 7,
Yes.
I had added that the ZBA placed a condition of approval that the automotive and truck motor vehicle washing facility limited solely to detailing and detailing add-ons. And that came from their motion.
Where was that?
So
Subsequent conditions?
subsequent conditions, it's on page 9.
Yeah.
I mean, number 5.
6. Okay, I was looking, there is no.
No, wait a minute.
Is it? Oh,
It's number 6.
okay, that's not, as far as, yeah, there is no.
Sorry.
Yeah. So. So that's in there. Any other questions?
I guess, yeah, what about signage?
Signs.
Yeah.
There's one sign that's already existing, out on the front of, or out on 28th, and it's currently got his name on it. That's the only sign. It's only not replacing the sign itself, but just the face of the board.
And it'll be specific to detailing and not washing the facility or something along those lines?
I don't have a picture.
Says
of
Wilson's
it.
Extreme Auto Detailing.
That's what I was trying to remember
Yeah.
exactly what it said.
Yeah, it has no mention of
No,
washing.
no
Car
location.
washing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Nothing to do with any car. Allow it to go up if it has it.
What's the intent for snow, like to remove it from that big parking lot, just to push it all the way to the back?
Yes.
I think they did indicate that. So
Yeah, it's the only real place on the lot.
it's the only
to do it.
place you can push it, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much to the back. Where'd you see it?
Over in the,
Oh, the tiny one, I was,
If I may,
Yeah.
there was a question in all this information I got about the, not having contours on it. And the reason is because there's not even 2 feet of difference in this lot, okay? So it has spot elevations all over it. And if you look at it, it has direction of flow, and where the snow storage area is the lowest part of the, and it's like a bowl. Okay, it's like 501 point something all the way around, and
that whole property.
and
is
it's
pretty
just
flat.
under, so that's why everything kind of directed that way.
Oh, if they have to get it amended. Are there any issues with the, state as far as the driveway permit's concerned, to have to change it, or change of use?
Yeah, we can definitely ask them to do that. It's just a matter of putting that application in. I was thinking we were going less, so I don't always do that, but, it was noted that it said that if anything changed, it would have to be looked at, so we can do that.
Thank you.
And they're usually pretty quick about that. I don't think that's-
That'd be something.
Yeah.
Straightforward. Conditions precedent. Oh, yeah. As far as the thresholds are concerned, everything is operational to this point, correct?
Yes.
Yep, okay.
Right, so instances like this type of project, you could have, obtain sign permit or, obtain amended driveway permit from the state, sort of things like that.
24 months to get the. Absolutely.
Any other questions?
I'll,
We need to go to public.
oh yeah, public. I forgot
So,
about them.
if nobody has any more questions, I'll open public. Anyone from public have any questions, comments? No? Seeing none, I'll close public.
I'll make a motion, we approve case P 2025-27 with the conditions precedent and subsequent.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. Before you go into case P 2529, if you guys could just address, the potential of a
28.
refund, yeah.
Yes. We don't.
Would you like to give me I'll give you a little bit of background
Okay,
information?
let's discuss P 2528. Case P 2528 has been withdrawn. Applicant is requesting a refund for $300 application filing fee only. And we need to talk about that. So, yes. if you
So an
give us the
application,
background, that'd be great.
so, yeah, an application was submitted, and upon, my research, I noticed there was a notation in their deed that they could no further subdivide the property. So I contacted the surveyor to let them know, and there was a request to just have just the application filing fee, refunded. Kind of can't refund the newspaper and the noticing fee because all that stuff had already taken place. At this point, they're requesting $300. I do have a refund line in my operating budget for $200. So if we were to refund them, that would deplete my refund line, and I would have to find $100 out of somewhere else, just so that you know what's going on. And again, that comes out of the operating budget.
Should have read the deed.
So you're saying we don't have the money to refund them?
Should we?
I mean, it's in the application that you accept no refunds.
Oh,
Exactly.
I did do some preparation work and, Robin also did, she prepared the newspaper notice and the abutter notices,
but it says on the application it's non-refundable.
correct?
Oh.
So is it possible to give them partial?
There's no refund.
It says non-refundable.
It says non-refundable.
Do we need a motion?
I would appreciate one.
Yeah.
I'll make a
motion. Get to it.
I strongly second.
Oh, there we go. Case P 25-28, make a motion, we do not refund the application filing fee.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Had that right on the. Okay. Next is case P 25-29 Prospect Mountain Survey, Paul Zuzgo, agent for Bethel Builders, owner, to amend original subdivision approved case P 2502 held on January 25th, 2025, to make condition number 6 a subsequent condition for lot 3-2-1 only, and release 3-2 from condition of drainage study plan. Hey, Paul. Should get your own chair here, huh?
And name tag.
Yeah.
This was just all the updates for the property so you can sell it, right? The split, yeah. Is this technically a new one?
Yes, it's in there.
So you gotta do complete and so then.
Yes.
Any reason for that isn't complete?
No, I feel like it's a complete application.
I'll make a motion, we approve case P 25-29 as complete.
We need a second a new
Yeah.
motion?
It's for the
I
complete-
second
for-
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for complete, yeah, completed, for the application anyway. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. So this was, yes, this was. So I'll go through the conditions precedent. Following conditions precedent must be satisfied prior to the signing of plans. As per the Highway Department's comments dated September 2nd, 2025, the drainage easement is to be provided to the town and sent to the town engineer to review the applicant's expense for both lot 3-2 and lot 3-1, which would clearly define the responsibilities and rights associated with existing drainage swale. Subsequent conditions, following the subsequent met during construction on an ongoing basis prior to a building permit being issued, a drainage study for plans lot 3-2-1 only shall be completed and submitted by the building department and reviewed by town engineer at the owner's expense. Unless otherwise approved by the board, the applicant shall have 1 year from date of the meeting at which the application is approved with conditions to be complete and conditions precedent that are required prior to signing and recording the subdivision plat, failure to complete any conditions within the 1 year timeframe shall invalidate the board's approval unless an extension is approved by the board per section 9, comma A, comma 1 of the town of Alton subdivision regulations. You guys have anything?
No, I think we beat this one to death.
Well, okay, I just want to check with them. No.
Did I say something?
No.
Oh, okay, it was just a continuation from, just reworded it.
Yeah.
The input from the highway department is subsequent to the discussions we had at the last planning board meeting, correct?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The the highway department input is new since the last meeting we had on this.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
I had an attorney draw up an easement, and I have copies here if you'd like to see it. It's in favor of the town of Alton and the two properties.
I will make a motion. We approve case P 25-29 with conditions, conditions precedent and subsequent.
I will second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
One question, how do I think I had to get this easement for the town attorney, do I give that?
Yeah, you can give that to me and I'll take care of that.
So does this mean he can sell that first lot?
That's exactly what I mean.
I mean, now we simply, submit the plans for my
The other
lot
one.
check?
For the other.
Are you gonna give me a copy of that easement? I mean, you can email it to me or whatever, however you wanna get it to me. Okay. Thank you.
All right, move right along. Other business. Move on to other business, old business, discussion, 2025-2026 ZAC committee and 2026-2031 CIP committee.
So start with this, I'll start with the CIP committee. We met again last night. We only have two more department heads to hear from, which is highway and police. So far, it appears that the department heads have been very frugal and have not added a whole bunch of things onto the plan. It's pretty much status quo, and in fact, the IT department has actually taken off an item, so it's going to be really helpful this year. So that's CIP. ZAC committee, we're going to be meeting on Thursday, so that'll be our first time to really get down deep into the woods in a lot of changes that are taking place just because of changes in law. So a lot of the amendments this year are going to be kind of automatic in a way. That's pretty much where we're at with committees right now.
Thank you. Under new business, approval of minutes from Tuesday, August 19th, 2025.
Yes, so
It was an interesting meeting.
It was a tough meeting.
yeah, so we have a new minute taker. I have talked to her, see if she can format the minutes, something a little more
Just not
that
every
you,
word.
that you guys are
Every word didn't
are
summarize
used to
the
seeing. So I have talked to her about it.
Great.
So we will see what this next set of minutes look like.
So I did make some notes in here. Line 41 should be ZAC and not ZACH. Several points where there were unintelligible discussion put down. We probably should strike that, or I think it's appropriate that that's in the minutes.
Yep, I still haven't had a chance to thoroughly go through this set of minutes.
All right.
I would,
Maybe-
I would
maybe
like
we'll
the
do that.
opportunity to,
Yeah,
just because she's new. If you guys want to continue it,
Yeah, we can do that.
and then that way I can kind of help navigate
Let's,
some of the
yeah, but
changes
we
if
should
you
probably
need.
make a motion to table the approval.
I'll make a motion, we table the approval of the minutes to the subsequent planning board meeting.
Back in that. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, correspondence for the board's review, discussion, action, letter dated August 21st, 2025 from Ryan Heath, Town Admin, for the construction of a new public works facility, map 15, lot 49, 18 Hidden Springs Road.
Yes. So this is something that the town has been working on for a while now. They would like to propose a new DPW building. If you're looking at the plan, it's the section indicated in yellow. And so the section that's to the right looks like a couple of fields over there. That's actually
Soccer
kind of,
fields or something?
that's kind of gotten taken off the plan for now. So you're really just looking at the, yes.
Purchase, yeah.
And we do have the public works director here tonight. We have
Oh.
further questions.
This is the lot, Nick, that we cleared, right? At the top cleared already?
We haven't cleared it yet.
I thought there was an agreement made at one of the selectmen meetings that they would clear it, and that they allocated 140 grand to do it.
Yeah, this isn't, so
This is
they
that.
have, no work has started yet. And we're not doing, if I remember, Mr. Shea left. If I remember correctly, I don't think we're doing the entire 140. I think we're only allocating a certain amount of funds towards it.
But not
That's
everything-
why we're not doing the fields and stuff right now.
but nothing's been spent yet.
No, I don't believe any work. Seth, is any,
It says,
Come
it
on
says,
up, Beth.
yeah, clearing 14 acres.
I mean, why 14 acres, I guess?
Yeah.
so the 14 acres is intended for the building itself And then the storage for everything else out back. They're gonna store everything that's at the DPW right now, the gravel piles, sand, salt, the sander shed, all those things.
Oh, okay.
Also for the water department, will move all of their pipe and everything from over where Jones Field is. Everything is gonna go in one central location for both departments.
I thought it
Is
was
the
a
intent.
14-acre building or something.
No.
Yeah, so the right, looking at the map there, the right-hand side of the, Herd Brook was the athletic fields. That's gonna remain forested at this time. We're not gonna log that. They're currently underway with the alteration of terrain permit. Highway has been out there with Ty and Bond with the excavator doing test bits for the alteration of terrain permit. Other than that, that's the only thing that's gone on over there. It's still all forested except for excavator paths. The DPW had previously used the very beginning of that site to store some materials in the past. While the excavator was there, kind of waiting for the different groups from Ty and Bond to come through, we've been hauling off some of the rocks and stuff up to the pit on Rhines Road, so.
Oh, so that's up by the church.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think in
plus the trail.
totality, it was like 3 or 4 acres in the beginning. It was cleared.
I'm sorry, yeah,
When we
just
were
a small little
talking
area in the
about it.
very beginning, yeah, and it has been cleared. That's where the old home, the old house was, from my understanding. The old farmhouse used to be there. It does abut the transfer station on the back. And, like I said, other than that, they've only been working on the alteration of terrain permit. But yeah, their intent is to clear 14 acres.
What's the plan for the existing property that you've been using?
Oh,
Gonna move all the equipment, you're gonna move the building?
yeah, no, so that building would stay there, and the hope is to rehab it and possibly pass it on to the Parks and Rec Department, utilize the area across the street where our material storage is, for courts, for pickleball, tennis, those types of things. And, that would kind of bring more of the Parks and Rec facility together with Jones Field itself, all being more centralized, and get highways, salt away from Mill Pond.
I think the overall long-term vision, just to speak for what Seth is talking about. So the old highway building will become Parks and Recs with indoor courts.
Yep.
They're gonna take the water department building, and that entire area will become the fire department. And those courts that are there currently, those are gonna move to where highway is, or possibly up into that other area. They wanna, we wanna put in a couple soccer fields, some ample parking, and concession stand. That is again the very long-term plan.
Can
Obviously,
I ask, what's the timing?
Huh?
What's the timing for the total vision? Is it?
10 years, 5-10 years probably. I mean, it's quite an endeavor. I mean, you're talking about a substantial building. It's a lot to move and orchestrate everything all at once, but this is kind of the beginning. I mean, it's basically land that we own and we really can't do much with. So, putting a new facility on it, I mean, it's out there, and it gives Jones Field a chance. Jones Field is already restricted enough. So it gives it a chance to, spread its wings a little bit and take over some of that land back that the highway had otherwise had. That's, again, the overall vision.
Okay. Within that side of, the 18 Hidden Springs property, there is also test wells that belong to the solid waste facility from the landfill cap that the town is responsible for forever. We own those and we have to maintain them. So that's, again, kind of into what Nick's getting at, is land that we can't do anything else with because we already have a prior obligation to it.
Is there a guess on overall cost?
Not at this time.
No, there's no final drafted plans in play yet. They want to be able to so the whole point in clearing the land was to get a better lay of the land to figure out, to kind of delineate where everything would go. It's a pretty big parcel and it's heavily wooded. So getting through there is a little bit of a challenge, but it's something we were gonna, kind of try to clear cut a big section anyway, so that, when the building eventually does go up. I mean, you go by highway right now and we have tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment outside. Like the grader alone is $250,000, a little more than that.
So this would all be covered? This is all like a.
We're
Yeah,
hoping to put everything inside.
That would get all of our equipment
Be a
tied
big,
under
like,
a
big
roof.
barn or something?
Yep. Yep. That was and just.
So like a
kind of
car, is it gonna be like a carport, or is it gonna be enclosed?
No, it'll be enclosed, yeah. I mean, there's a
So
brief
big
around
garage.
there. We've tossed around some ideas
Yeah.
back and forth, but like Nick said, no concrete plans yet.
Yeah.
But it'd be a large set of office spaces for the DPW and as well as water department. And then, looking at it, the first couple bays will be all drive-through is the hopes. The first couple bays being mezzanine, so we can put smaller vehicles underneath there and still have some storage overhead. And then, as we progress towards the back of the building, being the larger bays with the larger equipment with some, lean-to roof off the back for the smaller, like skid steers, things like that. So they'd at least be covered out of the sun,
Yeah.
out of the weather.
Out of the weather, yeah.
Yeah.
Make them last longer, yeah.
Yep,
Must
definitely.
be a discussion with CIP on this and putting into their plans?
Well.
I haven't
there's-
been in front of CIP yet with it.
This
Right.
is all,
Yeah.
He's one of the holdouts.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
But there's no money going into next year's budget
An
for this.
existing- There is an existing line.
Yeah, there is an existing line
Not
for it
where
already for, building improvements, yeah.
And somebody mentioned the access to this is is it on the driveway into the church?
So that is actually Hidden Springs Road, that's a town road. Yeah, so Hidden Springs coming off of,
So you go straight in, you almost go straight into.
yes, it will be straight in. Yeah,
That's gonna be the access to it?
yeah. There is currently a driveway there, it's got a little bit of an offset, but
Yeah, there's a gate or something.
yeah, there's a cable up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ideally, there'd like to be an access road that connects this parcel to obviously the transfer station,
Right.
something like that.
Through the back, so we could have some pass-through.
How much space, I know this is a different question, but how much space is there behind the church to the transfer station? Is it a lot or?
It's not, geez, it's probably 250 yards or so. It's a little bit.
250 give or take, yeah.
Yeah,
And who owns that, the town?
the town, yeah, they abut the solid waste facility in the back. There is another parcel to the left of the church that
Yeah.
also abuts the solid waste, but the church does abut the town's property, the solid waste.
Again, it's all very early.
Yeah.
Trying to work through it.
Yeah. And that for,
You guys can attest with every one of the departments is pretty much outgrown the facility they have. Every one of them is.
yeah,
They're building and engineering the fire trucks to fit in the small building they have now. We're actually paying more money to have the trucks built to fit in that building. We're paying more money.
There's no sort of view that we could throw everything into one building area or whatever.
Ideally, yes, but where we run into issues is Hidden Springs. You gotta look at Alton as a V. And if we put all of our apparatus up here at the central station, which would be the new central station, the times would be astronomical for them to go around that lake, which would include insurance rates for taxpayers will go up. I mean, substantially, because you're talking about moving the central station from the lower part all the way up to the right.
Gonna say that'd be a disaster.
25 minutes from somewhere.
Yeah, but so ideally, revamp fire and, take water, move water, build the fire bigger. The fire department has a, new structure, taking over the courts, move the courts down to letter S and, do something with where the gravel piles are now. And then obviously, have the two larger courts at the other parcel again. If all the stars align, that would be great. But we had originally looked at your idea about putting all the departments into one spot, even looked at the PD. But you run into the same, even if we put a substation, say we put a substation or we made West Alton be an active substation, you're still way off out there. Then it would be unmanned still.
Safety complexes work really well in cities.
They do.
When everything's compact, but when you're in the rural towns, it's tough because
Well,
you spread out so much.
Ideally, the bay creates a whole new logistical problem.
You gotta go
being
around
can't
it.
go through.
Yeah, you gotta go
So you
around
have to
it.
go all the way around it.
Yeah.
They would either have to take 28A, which is a treacherous road by itself, imagine in a fire truck, or Bay Hill Road, which again, you can't do in a fire truck, so you're stuck with going to Old Wolfboro Road all the way down and across and up. That's the only feasible way.
Is there any equipment in West Alton Station?
Yes, there is equipment there now.
there's an engine out there, yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a
there's an
for sale
engine.
sign on it?
No, I don't think, I think it's the adjacent there.
Like blew into the yard or something.
There is a for sale sign. Looks like it's.
The next problem, that's the problem.
At this point, it's that volunteer. But we have any kind of
I don't want to speak to, the fire chief and the fire department themselves. That would be, yeah, that would be a better question for them, but I will say that the staffing model, the approval of the 4 fire department employees that we made, we are hoping if the new budget goes through, those 4 people will be retained. We, keep them permanently. And the intent is, I believe, to widen out a little bit and to be able to use those, West Alden, East Alden stations more actively for them. A little bit, there are people in both sides of town that can respond, like, you remember what it was like. We're hoping to get back to that.
Then, I actually install Google Meet call. And we respond driving home, so we do it, but it still takes 20 minutes.
It does. So the times would be, but we ideally wanted that. We wanted to keep everybody in one building. Why wouldn't you? But we spoke to a couple of local insurance companies, and he said it would be the townspeople, the taxpayers, their insurance would go very high. I will say that, as far as right now goes, the fire department does have a very strong department. They're in the works of trying to, put some things together to be able to, get ready for a renovation of their station or something like that. They know it's coming. We're just trying to find out financially, from a financial standpoint, how we're going to be able to do this the best way and the most cost-effective way.
All right.
Sorry to bore you with that.
No. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing for correspondence.
Thanks, Al.
Board's information. Nothing for correspondence. State permits application. Any other business to come before the board? Public input on anything? Any public? Closed public?
You gotta come up to the mic and state your name for me.
So what you were talking about with that plan, in the future, is there a basketball court involved in that plan?
We
on
are,
Letteress Road?
it's still in very, very early stages.
Yeah,
I am not sure which courts, how things would go, where their placement is. It's all very early.
Okay, and you said it's about 10 years out, that vision you had?
It could be 5 to 10. It's very fluid right now. We're just trying to come up with an area that best suits what the department.
And also, I was coming down Route 11 today, and there was signs saying from 10-6 to 10-26, something's closed off.
Yes.
Is that all of Route 11?
That is going to be the section of Route 11 by Lakewood Drive. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they are redoing a culvert that's, how many feet is that? 30 feet or 40 feet? It's a really good size cross culvert the state has to do, so they are gonna be rerouting traffic down Rand Hill Road in the interim, and there will be signs, as far back as the highway, right, to reroute them up and down 140.
Yeah, that's what I saw, yep.
And for, just off of Q8, Lakewood Q8, where that home.
Yes.
So we would have to go 140 and around?
You would have to go either 140 and around or Rand Hill and around. That section will be closed.
Rand Hill.
And that's gonna be for 20 days?
I believe so, yeah, 20 days.
Okay. There was actually a situation in the past where we had that same route.
We had to when we had the issue with the rainwater. I don't remember what date it was,
Flood.
July.
Oh,
Yeah, the
when
big
it
flood we
washed
had.
out,
Yeah, they had to reroute. So that actually is the reason why the state has to do this.
Okay.
That destroyed, that compromised the integrity of that culvert pretty bad.
Okay. That's it.
Was there timing on the bridge? I kind of remember something from the state about us having to repair the bridge too, right?
That's what they're talking about, is that culvert is technically, what it looks like right now is like just pieces of granite put together. It's very old. How old is that thing, Seth? We're trying to put age on it. Nobody can really.
But the bridge won't be closed.
No. Yeah, none of None of the bridges and everything, none of that, we've, no.
Don't have to go a long way from my man.
Yeah, yeah. A permanent solution.
All right, that's it for public. We'll close public. All right, just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
All right. Get a, second? Anybody?
Second?
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.